Hello, guys. Welcome to another episode of Floating Thoughts. If you are new here, my name is Lally, and I am your host. If you're not new here, welcome back. Thank you guys so much for your support in the last episodes, and if you have not subscribed, make sure you do because we have a lot of new episodes coming soon. Today, I do have another guest for you guys. So I see that you guys are liking me bringing on guests, and I have a lot of exciting news. So I have a very exciting person that I want you guys to meet. And then I have my mic stand is back. So that lasted a little bit, but we're back. And yeah, I just want to say thank you guys for all the support received in the last two episodes. Well, all of the episodes, really. It means a lot. So let's just get started. Today we have Jalen. So how are you doing, Jalen?
I'm doing well.
Yeah.
Doing well. Nah, I appreciate you for having me.
Yeah, thank you for being a part of it. Me and Jalen have known each other since yesterday. I do want to mention that. So he is actually Kenny's friend, and it was a quick, he was ready to go and be on the podcast. So, and he has a lot of, not information I want to say, but a great story to kind of share with you guys. So this was a great opportunity, and thank you for being part of it. To just kind of start off this episode, I just kind of want you guys to introduce, you guys, it's one person. I want you to introduce yourself and kind of who you are now, but who you were growing up.
Ooh, that's a good introduction. Okay, so name is Jalen. I would say who I am now is, I would probably just say somebody that's just doing their best to just follow Christ, to be honest with you. Like, that's it. Just trying to be a disciple. And who I was before, boy, I was lost, dude. Like, I was like legit lost. Really trying to figure it out, who I am as a person, with the weight of just being like an older sibling.
Okay.
Of two, and yeah, I was just like a lost soul, to be honest with you. Like, to be honest, yeah.
By like, so you said you're an older sibling. How far are your siblings like apart?
Yeah, so the middle child, which is my brother, 4 years apart, and then my little sister, we're 6 years apart.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, dang. Okay.
Yeah.
Do you guys all get along very well?
Yeah, we do. Yeah, we're
Okay.
pretty tight knit. Yeah.
So as far as for you saying like that who you are now and who you were growing up, was there something that kind of got you to the point, or like a moment in your life that kind of transpired that it was like, okay, it's time to get me to this point and this is what I need to do?
Yeah, I would probably say the year after I graduated, like college.
Okay.
I thought I was gonna like have a job, car, like house. I thought everything was just gonna flow like that, but that was the complete opposite.
Yeah.
Once I graduated college, man, I was like buying stuff I shouldn't have bought. I was just dibbling and dabbling in things that I shouldn't have even involved myself in. So during that time, I reached the end of my rope. I was like, okay, something got to change.
Yeah.
Like, I've tried every single option, but I'm like, okay. The only response at the moment was just, okay, I got to turn to God because, look, I've exhausted all of my options.
Yeah.
So once I did that, that's when I truly started to discover, like, what love is. Like, just placing my faith and love in Christ. It then revealed to me how much he loved me even in my flaws.
Okay.
And that really, like, changed up everything for me. So, yeah.
Growing up, was your family into, like, God? Or is it, like, are you the only one in your family that's, like...
So, with that, like, we would go to church on Sundays. Just as, like, a traditional thing to do. Like, we going to church on Sundays.
Okay.
Like, I definitely had parents that prayed. But that relationship part, I didn't see it, like, in the household.
Yeah.
So with me, like, giving my life to Christ, honestly, I was just going in this blind. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was just me, and I'm just going to learn along the way.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, that's how it was.
It's kind of interesting because I'm going to say something, then I'm going to ask you
No,
something.
go for it.
So, like, it's similar to, so my mom, she was very, well, both my parents, we grew up Catholic. So both of my parents were like, my dad was like, I don't know what it's called anymore, but he just served the church. And then my mom, she just went to church a lot, I guess. And that's how they kind of met. And then, so growing up, it was the same thing. Like, it was just kind of like, it's Sunday, so that's just on our task, like a schedule thing. But it wasn't like, because it wasn't a want. It was just like, I guess we have to go.
Right.
And then I kind of shared like before with like kind of my journey within like the Catholic faith, and how like it just brought up a lot of questions within myself. But my question to you is, since everything was kind of like that within your family, like it was more scheduled, was there was that part of a reason why maybe like it shifted you again, like away from God for a little bit, and then you kind of gave your life to Christ?
So with that, I would say yes.
Yeah.
Yes, in a certain way. Because with us going to church, it was almost like if I didn't feel like going, then like we're not gonna go.
Okay.
I'm not gonna pray that much, I'm not gonna listen to gospel music. Like it was almost like a checklist.
Okay.
There you go. It was more so like a checklist. So when I got to that point, like honestly, like God met me in my car going to work early in the morning. Like that was my experience, because on the way to work, excuse me, the main thing in that moment was, okay, what music am I listening to? I was like, okay, I remember my mama, they used to play like gospel songs in the car. We was going up. I'm like, let me go and cut that back on. And I kid you not, when I played it in my car, it was like the Holy Spirit just like, he legit met me in the car, and I was like, yo, what is this?
Yeah.
But then come to find out that was God just meeting me right where I was at. And I was like, okay.
It's a sign.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, it was definitely like, definitely made it a sign. So, man, yeah.
Do
that's pretty
you
much what
still
it was.
listen to like worldly music now, or is it like are you more careful with what you listen to?
I'm more careful with what I listen to.
Yeah.
Like where I'm at right now, in my relationship with Christ, I'm just a lot more careful. I used to just listen to the beat of the song.
Yeah.
But now I'm like listening to the lyrics. I'm just like,
You gotta. Yeah, I saw this one. I don't know where I was listening to. I don't know if it was at this point. I don't know if it was TikTok, Instagram, Snapchat, or what it was. But I remember somebody was talking about like secular music, and I've always been the type before like that. It didn't really matter, because I'm like, well, you're not really like acting upon it. But then I remember, like, in the Bible it just says kind of like how like your tongue holds power, right? So in a way, I was also like, well, what difference does it make than you singing it and you're saying it out loud and it's still coming from your mouth, versus you just saying like, oh, I'm not acting upon it, because it could still transpire into something. So I'm still in that like journey. I'm not saying that I don't. Sometimes I still listen to secular music, but it's the same thing. Like, I'm a little more careful with what's coming out, because then I'm like, oh, yeah, no, I wouldn't. It's more like alerting. But before we continue, so I know you guys kind of heard a little bit of his upbringing and who he is now as a person. And like I mentioned, this is also new to me because I'm so serious. I literally just met him yesterday. We went to, what is it, LeCounte Pilates?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'll probably insert them. If you are looking for, it's not sponsored by the way, but if you are looking for like a Pilates class, that's a really good class. I think they said they're going to have it like once every month, right? Like,
yeah. Every first Saturday of every month.
Yeah.
Yep.
So I'll link it. It was a really good class, and also it's really good for like networking and stuff. I didn't stay the whole time because I really wanted to go to the chocolate factory. So I left early. But if you're looking for like networking and things like that and socializing, it's a really, really good class for like Saturdays too. Like if you don't have anything to do. But yeah, before we move forward, I have a little question for you.
Sweet.
You guys know this little box.
Uh-oh.
You're gonna pick a question from here, okay. And it's probably like a deep question, a funny question, or just a question that makes you think.
Okay.
You read it out loud and then you answer it.
Let's see. You've been given the chance to make a new holiday. What would it celebrate and how would people celebrate it? Boy, that is a good question.
You haven't thought about that? No, just kidding.
That's a good question. You've been given the chance to make a new holiday. What would it celebrate and how would people celebrate it? A holiday. If I had to make a holiday, I think it would probably just be just a holiday of rest.
Okay.
Lock your phone in a box for like 24 hours. Mm-hmm. Lock your keys in this box for 24 hours and just rest.
Really? That's
like,
a good
slow
one.
down.
I've never thought about that.
Yeah, what would it celebrate? How would people celebrate it? I would say they'll celebrate it by really reevaluating where they're currently at.
Okay.
You know, because we live in this fast-paced world, sometimes we lose track of our own selves in the midst of our doings. Mm-hmm. So with that, sometimes we need to just take a step back, honestly breathe.
Yeah.
And like really reevaluate, okay, what's going on? Where am I at? Where have I came from? You know, during this process, whatever that process looked like, and just sit, like just be. So I think that would be a new holiday. A holiday of just like reset
That's
and rest.
a good one.
Uh-oh.
I'm thinking about it because that's a good one because I feel like I don't know how to rest at all. Like I feel like I'm always on the go, but not even with like phone or anything like that. Mm-hmm. Like I don't know if it's because of the whole like a schedule thing. One, I work very good on schedule, so I know like everything's very structured. Mm-hmm. So even on my off days, I feel like I still wake up early because I don't know. I feel like I'm wasting the day if I don't wake up early. And then I feel almost guilty resting because I feel like I'm not getting anything done, if that makes sense. So I feel like I would literally probably feel like a crackhead that day. Like, honestly, I feel like I'd be like scratching my neck or something like, what do you mean I don't get to do anything? But I think it would be good. I think that would be good. That's a good one. Okay.
So if you don't mind me asking you, what is your definition of rest?
Rest. Rest. Okay, I don't know. So I'll just describe my rest day and then how I would want it to be maybe. Okay. So my rest days now look like I wake up at like 7 a.m. And then I'm getting back into working out. So now I'm working out. But if I don't get up and I don't work out, so I get up and I start cleaning. I don't know. Like, I feel like I have to find something. Okay. So right now, I think even my rest days, I feel like I'm not really home on my rest days because then I am doing what I don't do usually when I'm not off. Mm-hmm. But ideally, on a rest day, see, even now, okay, on a rest day, what I would like it to look like, I'm obsessed with dogs, right? And recently, there's farm thing of golden retrievers came on Instagram, and I feel like I would love to be in a farm with golden retrievers on a rest day. Okay. But that would still kind of count because then I wouldn't like be on my phone or anything. I would just be interacting with dogs.
It's like you'll just be like in the moment.
In the moment, yeah.
Like, okay.
But I think I do have a hard time kind of sitting still in the sense of like, I don't try meditation, which I feel like I need to, but I don't try it because I feel like I'm like, what am I doing? Like, I can't really meditate. Okay. And then, like, even, like, working out, stretching, I hate stretching. Yep. Just because I feel like it goes so slow. You know what I mean? And that's why I say, like, I feel like my mind's just so fast-paced that I feel like when I'm stretching, I'm like, is it over? But you know what I mean? So I don't know.
No, I get you. It's almost like anticipating the next
step. Yeah. And I think maybe it's like my mind's just racing of, like, what's next, that I can't be in the moment of like what's going on now, if that makes sense.
No, it makes perfect sense.
What is your definition of resting?
Man, my definition of resting, where I don't have to think, like really just don't think about really nothing except for like just being present in the moment. And with being present in the moment, let me just soak in like the joy, you know what I'm saying, of just expressing gratitude, there you go, of just being able to be in this certain location where I'm at, being able to interact with different people animals, whatever it is, but it's like I'm not thinking about much where my mind can like legit rest.
Yeah.
In a sense. So I would say that's like my definition of resting, and also just sitting still sometimes.
Are you an overthinker? Or would you consider
Oh.
yourself an overthinker? Or are you just more like a person like, I don't
It's
care?
funny you asked that. I am an overthinker, but I'm not like a frantic overthinker. If that
Okay.
makes sense.
Yeah, no,
like
that
I'll
makes perfect
overthink, but I'm not like
Yeah. Like
But
it
I'm
needs to be
like-
done.
my mind is just going and going and going. I'm just like, all right. And then like one way that I know that I'm overthinking too much, I start to get like chest pains. Like it's like this certain type of pain I get in my chest. That is like an indicator. Like, yeah, Jay, you probably doing
Calm
too much.
down.
You need to calm down.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's like that one distinct pain. It's hard for me to explain it, but
You know when it comes.
I know when it comes. Yeah. And with that, I'm like, okay, I need to just sit. I need to like pray.
Yeah.
You know, I need to just pray, or I need to just find time to maybe like go to the park, get my thoughts aligned, or just express what I'm thinking and how I'm feeling to like my close group of friends, like
Yeah.
a close community of friends. Yeah.
I was going to pick on something that you said yesterday that I don't
What's
know
up?
if you remember what you said
What's up,
yesterday. So we were talking to him a little bit after the Pilates class. By the way, are you sore?
I am a little bit.
I woke up really, really
I ain't gonna lie
sore.
to you. I look in.
I was like, at first, like, it was a good class. And then this morning, I was like, oh my God, why do my shoulders feel that
Bro,
way?
facts. No,
I
this
was
is my shoulders too.
Let me message them real quick. Like, what's going on? But you said something along the lines of that right now you're kind of in between.
Oh.
You know what I'm talking about? It's coming. Are you regretting saying it? You're kind of in between. What was it? Share with the crowd.
I'm in between like the tension of like doing too much and not doing enough.
And I want you to elaborate on that.
Oh, bet. This could be like a real time process. Cause if I'm not mistaken, this hit me like earlier this week. Like I said, going back, really just going back, seeing just where I'm at, going back to my why. I'm like, okay, why am I working 2 jobs? So like going back to the goal that I wrote down. And with that, between not doing enough, like, okay, am I being productive? You know what I'm saying? Like, am I actually taking the necessary steps to achieve this goal? And then the other tension of like doing too much. Yo, Jay, when do you really have time for yourself? You know, like when you have time for you, you're always there for other people, doing other things. And then like also working as well. So it's like, when do you just have time to do something that you might enjoy doing? Like a hobby. I think hobbies are important.
1,000%.
But we can touch on that later on. But that's kind of where I've been at like this week. Just, okay, where am I at? Where am I at? Because my mind is just all over the place.
Yeah.
And I'll be honest with you, I haven't spoken about it.
Exclusive content.
No, in fact, like this is like a real time process right now. So this is like real life, just processing it. I think it came from me like just doing too much.
Okay.
Like I just been on like autopilot.
And is it, like, by too much, is it, like, something that you've been putting more work, let's say, into work rather than, like, what you want to do, or is it something else?
Yeah, it's been I've been putting more energy towards like work because I do a lot of like pouring out like at work to other people, and then also just trying to take care of like my physical body as well, like going to the gym, making sure I go to the gym because I need that endurance, you know what I'm saying, to be able to withhold everything that I have going on. But in that, it's like, okay, going back to what we talked about at first, resting.
Yeah.
Like, Jay, have you like really resting? I be talking to myself too. So if I say Jay, just
It's him, third person.
It's me, third person. But just resting, that's something I haven't been doing lately.
Yeah.
If I could just be honest with you, like I have not been resting. So it's cool how everything is coming like full circle, like with this holiday. You know, with this, I'm like, rest, because as I'm saying this, I'm also like talking to myself as well.
Yeah, like a reminder.
A reminder to like, Jay, rest. Because at the end of the day, all this stuff, like, what meaning is it? Like, what meaning is like doing all of this stuff?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like, if you're like running yourself to the dirt.
Yeah. Do you have a moment where you feel like, is it like a running out of time thing, or is it like a specific goal that you, like you said it to be, okay, I want it to be by the age of something? Because I know, like, as women, I had this the other day too. I woke up and I was getting ready for work and I was like, oh my god, I'm 26. I was like, ugh, I'm 26. Like, oh my god, by this time I wanted to kind of be here, and then I kind of stopped myself and I'm like, okay, relax. Like, if God wanted it to happen, it would happen. Like, have you thought about maybe you're not ready for it? And so that kind of also calms me down, like that reminder of like, it's me wanting it. It's maybe not God wanting it for me just yet. Doesn't necessarily mean I kick it to the curb and don't put the work behind it. But it's just the idea of like, it's not going to come just because I want it right now, especially if I haven't been doing my part, you know? So for you, is it more so like, you know, that by a point in time, this is where you wanted it to be? Or is it like, you know, you said it as an older sibling, is it something that you just kind of want to also prove to yourself, or do you know what it is, or you don't?
Whew. This is good, bro. This is good. This is good. This is good. Excuse me. For me, I want to be a good example for my siblings. And I will also say, also like trusting in God too, because his timing is not our timing at all. And sorry, with just with being submitted, sometimes like it hurts dying to yourself. You know what I'm saying? So that timer, it's been like knocking on my door, like, yo, you 28, you feel like, you know,
What
so,
you doing? Type thing.
what you doing? You know, you should have done this like 2-3 years ago.
Yeah.
You know, you should have had this mindset 4 or 5 years ago. So it's almost like the enemy is like trying to throw little darts my way. He's trying to like get into my ear. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh yeah, you doing, bro, you working extra hard, but you sit in the same spot. But like, I have to like trust in God. I have to trust in this plan. I have to really like just remind myself of the promise that he has given me.
Yeah.
And he has like shown me like signs of like, okay, Jay, you on the right path. Like, I got you. Just continue to do what I'm telling you to do until I give you another word. So just really just staying hold of that.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie, sometimes it does get it gets difficult. You know, certain season it does get tired, but I have to just constantly just remind myself, keep coming to the word that God got me.
Yeah.
Like, God got me.
And I know it could be frustrating too, because we were touching a little bit on it yesterday, of like having faith and how it's not easy. And I know like with that it can be if you don't know, he's a photographer as well. So a videographer, I'll put his information. But I know it could be a little bit difficult trying to be a follower of God and then still be in the world, you know, because there's, how do you say, there's challenges that we face every single day of like whether you're going to choose to follow God today. Because I feel like people think that you following God means that every single day is just like, oh, I choose to follow God, you check a box and then you're on the right path. But I feel like it's an everyday challenge, because you wake up and you still have to choose God again and again and again, because it's so easy to go to the right and then to go to the left, you know? So I think with that, is there something that like, maybe a quote, whether it's like biblical or something that you live by, that kind of reminds you and grounds you to be like, you know what, it's okay, I'm okay, and I'm gonna get there whenever God wants me to get there?
You know what? I'm gonna pull up this scripture real quick, because it really, it's a constant reminder. Let me bring it up real quick.
Make sure you guys subscribe to my channel.
Oh man. So, excuse me. So we're to be Christ-like, you know. So in like Mark 10:45, it says, "For even the Son of Man came not to be served, but to serve others and to give his life as a ransom for many." To serve others, like he came here to serve others. So we're to be Christ-like. We should have a heart of a servant to help other people, because it's bigger than us.
Yeah.
You know, as individuals, it's bigger than us. And with that, I'm so sorry. Just knowing that everything that God has like blessed me with, it's not for me to hoard. You know what I'm saying? If God can get it to me, if he can get it to me, he can get it through me.
Yeah.
So really just being just humble, you know, living with that humility of like, all right, Jay, waking up every day, Lord, who do you have for me today? How can I share your word? How can I like represent you? Really just having an open heart, honestly, like going back to just dying to self.
Yeah.
Like that's really how I live, and it's fulfilling.
Yeah.
You know, it's fulfillment, and I think that's something that I finally like recognize, like fulfillment. That is like success.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like just being fulfilled.
Yeah. And it's interesting. I was going to say it earlier on. It's interesting that you said also, just going a little bit back to God's timing, because if you have been watching like the episodes recently, at least the past, I want to say the past like 6 episodes, even I have said it, and I think, yeah, I want to say I'll correct it if I'm wrong, but everybody keeps coming back to God's timing, and I think that's beautiful because while it's a pattern, and someone can sit here and watch all these episodes and say like, okay, well, this is the 6th person that says God's timing and nothing's happening. You know, it's so easy to get into that mindset of like, okay, these past people have said the same thing and then they're stuck in the same place. But the beauty within that is that you're living correctly by saying that, because I feel like it's so easy for us to kind of fall into, oh, well, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that, and make ourselves like our own like God of like, I can do anything, everything's impossible for me or whatever. But it's like God really has the last word, whether he wants you to have something and whether you don't want it to have. So you can live your life, try to be impossible, make the possible impossible or whatever, but at the end of the day, God will be so quick to be like, just
You know, you're putting yourself above me.
Yeah, no,
let me go and bring you down.
Yeah, exactly. Like, humble yourself. And I think that's very important, but I do think that's something, as someone that's watching, I do think that's a big reminder of putting your trust in God is not easy. And if it was easy, everybody would do it. But that's why in the society we live in now, it's so easy to idolize other things, because having faith in God is not an easy thing to do.
But it's so rewarding too.
Yes.
Like, it is so rewarding. Oh my gosh.
Yes.
Like the amount of peace that you have, honestly, I can't even put in words, like the amount of peace you have when following Christ.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because you know that it's not your own strength. Like, us as humans, we are not as strong as we think we are. Like, we're really not.
Yeah. The power
Excuse me.
that power.
And that's okay. Like, that is okay. Men, I want you to know, that is okay. Like, it's okay to be like, hey, I'm feeling weak today. Or like, hey, today is just not it.
Yeah.
You know, and I think that's like the importance of having a community of people. Not just anybody, you know, still be wise on like the people that you keep around, but having that community of people where you can come as you are, you can put your mask down at the door.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And be like, yo, this ain't it, bro.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know what's going on. So then, like, people can, like, meet you where you at. They can, like, pour into you. So I definitely just want to say, you know, to the men out there, like, it is okay. Like, trust me, it is okay to not be okay. Because at the end of the day, like, you bleed. You bleed as well. And you have emotions as well that it doesn't go unnoticed. as well. So I definitely just want to say that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Mr. Little. I was gonna say it's crazy you just said that because I was gonna ask you if it's a little bit different because you're a man, like whenever it comes to like because what is your definition of what it means to be a man?
What it means to be a man. Boy, that is a good question.
Like to you, it doesn't
Yeah.
necessarily have to be because I feel like sometimes as women or as a society we have made men be very like okay like they have to be the head of the household. You provide, you work, and just like you have certain standards. Do you feel like all those standards captivates what a man should be, or is it that you think it's much deeper than that and people don't kind of shine light on that?
Yeah. Nah, I think it's deeper than that. Like all of those things that you said, true. Another key component is okay, who's the Lord of your life? Because the man, we're to be the head of the household. Okay, who's then the head of us? You know what I'm saying? Like
Like who are you serving?
having who you serving, yeah.
Yeah.
So like going back to just being submitted to God, being submitted to God. So then we can then also just steward. We can then provide for our families. We can be the head, of our household, the healthy way.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I think that's where it gets deeper at. Because like I said, as we're the head of the household, all right, Lord, how do you want me to lead this family?
Yeah.
How can I be a better husband? How can I be a better father?
Yeah.
Like going to God. He knows the beginning, middle, and end. He's the Alpha and the Omega.
Yeah.
So, and I always pray this prayer too. Like, Lord, thank you for waking me up today. Today is a day that I've never seen before, but you have. Lord God, I just pray and ask for wisdom on the assignment that you have for me so I can then, just give you the glory in my doing. So
That's a good
hopefully,
answer.
hopefully that answer your question.
No, that's a good answer. I'm gonna ask you another question.
Now go ahead, go for it.
And depending on your response,
What's up?
this might be a little controversial to some people.
Let's do it.
But given that you guys just gave that definition, and then honesty, do you think that men now don't portray what it means to be a man, but also within like the new, like I would say like with the new culture, like how do I explain this? Like basically like what's been let me answer it because I'm it's very specific, but I'm not asking it. Hold on. I'm not asking it how I want it. So you know how like now it's kind of more normalized where like men, you're in a relationship with a woman, whatever, and they go get their nails done or like they put like more like it's more like they make men a little more feminine. Do you think that it's not the same based on your response? Like, does that take away from them being a man?
Like a man taking care of themselves?
But I guess
I just want to make sure I understand.
kind of, but then to what extent is it okay for them to like take care of themselves? Does that make sense? Because you know how like some people say like, well, there's nothing wrong with a man painting their nails, let's say. And then some men would be like, no, I think that's too feminine. Where do you think you draw the line between like, you can take care of yourself, but now you're doing a little too much?
Yeah. With that, if a man want to paint his nails, hey, I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that. If a guy want to paint his nails, hey, bro.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to just kind of get to know him a little bit, or like maybe ask some questions or something, because I'm like, look, hey, it's something I'm not gonna do, but I'm not gonna like write the person off, because I don't want to be quick to judge like a book by its cover and stuff. So just be like, I don't know, just talk to him. Maybe, if I have that.
I think I asked
space.
because like, I've seen like on social media how they describe some men as like sassy, let's say, right? Like, oh, how am I gonna date someone that's more sassy than me?
Yeah.
Like they say that, right? And I was having a conversation with I really my coworker, and we were kind of talking about like who is more at fault? Is it the man himself for like doing it, or is it the woman for not putting a stop to it? In the sense of like, oh, that's okay, and then they're the same ones complaining that the man is too sassy. So I think that's where like it kind of comes from, because it's a like that you are just, is that what you're like seeking in a man, like that someone is like sassy, or are you wanting something different but you're accepting of it? Does that make sense?
No, that makes sense, dude. That makes sense. The way that you like broke that down was like,
so I think it's like that was
Yeah.
like that's the main, because I think, I mean, everybody's gonna do whatever they want regardless of like our opinion, right? But I think it's like sometimes as a woman, if you're looking for a manly like man, but then you're just like, I mean, yeah, that's fine, oh, and that's fine, like that's okay, then where do you
ooh.
you know what I
It's
mean?
almost like just like settling, you know what I'm saying? Like, don't settle. First, it goes back to like, do you know what you want?
Yeah.
And that goes both ways for the man and the lady. Do you know what you want?
Yeah.
And then also going back to that time,
Yeah.
are you willing to put that time? Are you willing to like put that time like on altar, like die to that?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I want a lady around, you know, like a month or two. I want her to do X, Y, like, you know, the whole list. Are you willing to wait? You know what I'm
do them,
saying?
yeah.
Yeah. Are you willing to wait for it? So it just
Yeah.
goes back to like settling, because we're not here to change like other people.
Yeah, it's not build a bear.
You feel me? Not build a human.
You're not building
Like,
a human.
build a human.
Yeah.
You know? So now with that, yeah, like if it's something that you don't want, stand 10 toes on that.
Yeah.
Like vocalize it and, you know what I'm saying, walk away from it.
Yeah.
No, don't settle.
Yeah.
No, don't settle.
And I agree, because I do think that there's a lot of like, based on just conversations that I've had with people, I do think for both parts, it's not necessarily like I'm gonna move it just a little bit. It's not necessarily just women. It goes for both sexes. Like I feel like sometimes we think we want that person. Oh, we're just gonna. What is it called? What is that thing called when you're not interruption? What is it? It's okay. Ignore it. I'll think
It's
about
all
it.
good.
It's like the little. But it goes for both sexes, as far as for that sometimes it's kind of how you said, like we settle, but we are more interested in the person, that we don't get to know them enough, and then all we can think about is like, dang, I really like this person, so I can probably change that. I could probably change that. But the reality of it is that person is, there's a person, and I'm going to go back to the 4 Agreements. If you haven't read the book, read the book, because that's such a good book. But there's one that there's this part in that book that it basically says there's a person for everybody, in the sense of, and what he explains, the author is like saying, that person, just how they are, somebody else is looking for that person just like that. So it's not your job to come in here and change that person, because there's a person just exactly what you're seeking out there for you. So while you're spending your time and wasting your energy on trying to fix this person and just trying to check all these boxes, there's a person that already checks them out.
Yeah.
And so I think whenever I read that, I also take that within like friendships and everything, right? Like we try to keep people because we think that they're meant to be in our lives for whatever reason that we're holding on to, but not knowing that there's someone out there for us in the right environment kind of thing, you know?
No, I get you. Like I said, hey, look, your battery's charged. You might be here for a minute. But nah, that's so true. Just going back to, are you aware of like the season that you're currently in? Because the people that's been around you, if you're stepping into a new season, you might not be able to take them into that new season.
Yeah.
Because you're being elevated to maybe like a different path or a different level. Everybody that was rocking with you before, they might not be able to go. And it's nothing against them.
Yeah.
You just got to know, okay, what is it that you need in this current season, in this current space.
Yeah.
And like going back to what you were saying, with trying to, I guess, like make a person or try to restructure a person, there's a person out there that's looking for that person that you're trying to change.
Yeah, you're holding on to this
you're
person.
holding,
Let that person
go.
go.
You know what I'm saying? Like, while you're trying to pursue this person that's not even meant for you,
Yeah.
it's almost like hindering them from being able to meet the other person that they're made for, then also blocking you from meeting the person that's low-key waiting for you.
Yeah.
But
That's
sometimes
why,
we gotta let it go.
and this might be a little bit off, not off topic, but within topic. That's why I think I'm also so big on, like, whenever you're in a relationship and, like, whichever person, individual, like, if someone cheats on you, then I'm so big on, like, just let it go, because it's like you're not married to that person yet, but it's also the fact that there's probably a reason why, like, that you know, they're not meant to be in your life, and that's could be like, it hurts, don't get me wrong, but it's like a wake-up call within like, yeah, because I don't think that the right person would do that to me, you know. But we still stay there because we see something like, oh no, it's meant to be, so let me just forgive this person, and then there's something else good in it, or whatever the case. And that's too extreme, right, that we're holding on. But I think it leads up to something. Like, it could be the smallest things that you really don't like. Somebody finds it cringy about you every single day, but they're still there because they're like, well, she makes my coffee really good or something. But it's like, no, ma'am. Like, there's a deeper, like, it shouldn't be like that. Like, I feel like while the person that you're with might not be perfect, it's still you still love them for their imperfections. Right. Does that make sense? I can get past that. That's settling. You know?
Yeah, because we all have our non-negotiables as well. So,
like
I said, that's within like an intimate relationship, or just like, you know, a friendship, like a platonic friendship, or, you know, and I think it's going back to this, so important, just having that right community around you. Yeah. Because sometimes, look, we be stuck in our own heads. We be in just delulu as all get out, but like, you're gonna need that one person to kind of like, yo, I'm gonna tell you what you need to hear rather than what you want to hear. Right. You know what I'm saying? Like, a friendship ain't a real friendship if you don't go through fire, then both of y'all like make it through it. And I agree with that. It's funny, I tell Kenny all the time, because he'll be, let me expose the little group chat for a little bit, but not in a bad way. But I laugh because, like, they've been friends for a long time, you know? And I always tell them, I'm like, oh, I admire that about you guys' friendship, because it's now these days it's a little rare to have friends that you've met since, like, elementary or even high school. Like, a lot of people that met in high school are not even friends anymore, you know? It's paths or whatever, just things that happen in life, right? And I tell him sometimes, sorry, I see him, one second. There's nothing bad, I'm sorry. But I see him, like, on the phone, right? And he'll be like, man, right? Talking to them and stuff. And I'm like, oh, like, as a woman, because I always tell him, like, men and women, it's totally different when arguments happen. You know, women, I think they don't talk to each other for a long time, or probably that's the end of their friendship. And I think for men, I've seen it so different. Like, yeah, I can argue one day and the next day you're like dabbing up, and I'm like, yeah, I just literally argued yesterday. So every time I see that, I'm like, oh yeah, that's it. Like, no more group chat. But then it's crazy because then, like, the messages are like, sometimes when I see them interact, even in person, I'm like, oh, it's so different. But it's because their friendship is real, like, in the sense of like, nah, I'm gonna tell you if you're doing wrong, and vice versa. And I think that friendships lack of that nowadays. Like, it's so their feelings get hurt more easily now, that it's like, oh well, no, you're supposed to be my friend, you're supposed to be accepting of what I do. But then it's kind of what you're saying, what kind of a friend would I be if I'm accepting of everything you do, knowing that harm will come to you, you know? So it's kind of like, it makes me happy seeing that there's still friendships like that, but it's also this sad that the reality that it's not a lot of friendships like that anymore. You know what I mean? Yeah. So, do you have something to say there, Dad, before I move on to something? Man, look, now you cooking. Look, I'm gonna let you cook. I'm gonna let you cook on that.
I was gonna say, so I have two little cards here. So if you guys, I introduced this in the last episode. There's 2 envelopes with 2 different numbers.
Oh snap!
Yeah. So 17 and 20. both have questions in here. One might be more difficult than the other.
Okay.
You're going to answer both.
Okay.
But it's just a matter of which one you answer first,
Which
okay?
one I get? All right,
which
bet.
one do you want to go for, 17 or 20?
Ooh, let's go 20.
20, okay. I'm not struggling today because I have my mic stand.
This is fun. This is fun.
So the question is there a part of you in the past that you miss? And when did you realize that part of you, that part of you was gone?
Boy.
That was an easy question, by the way. No, I'm just kidding. No, I'm joking.
Was it? A part of me that I miss.
And when did you realize that that part of you was gone?
Boy. A part of me that missed the. I'm just gonna say it. I don't even care. I would say a part of me that I miss is the part of me that was able to just love freely.
Okay.
You know, to love just freely, just to have my heart just open to love. You know what I'm saying? And not in like a intimate relationship, just love just in general, you know. And I would say when I recognized that, I probably recognized that last month, like a month or two ago.
Oh, okay.
Just with certain like friendships or just meeting new people. I have to guard my heart a lot more. Excuse me, which then it does take more effort, you know, because as much as my heart want to just like boom, you know, show all this love or like receive all this love, it's like I have to be cautious, you know what I'm saying, because I have to use discernment in a sense, you know what I'm saying. I have to be patient, take my time, get to understand, okay, what's the intention, what's the motive behind all this, you know what I'm saying. And I would say that that's something I definitely missed in the past, is being able to just love, you know what I'm saying, just love freely. But then again, I will also say too, like in the past, I wasn't as aware as I am now. So it's almost like, dang it, I don't know.
I don't know if you want to answer, but was there a specific situation that happened that it made you be like more closed off or put a guard up?
Boy. Ooh. This is, boy, we about to get deep. We about to get deep. Love this man. I would say like my dad.
Yeah.
You know, and the reason why I just start off as if like I love him, just because our relationship is not, it's not a normal relationship. It's a very unique relationship. But at the end of the day, I know me and we both love each other. Just our relationship is just very, it's just different. Yeah. Which is okay. But I would say as I was growing up, the more I started to understand what was going on in the house, I like looked up to this man. You know what I'm saying? Like he was like my hero. He was somebody that I wanted to be like. And then mentally, when I started to understand that, okay, he has flaws. You know what I'm saying? Like he's not perfect. That kind of not ruined, but I was like, dang, I thought he loved me. Why would all of this stuff happen, you know, in the house? I think, like, I'm trying not to give like too many details, but I still want to like paint the picture, you know.
I think it's kind of just you described it perfectly. I think it's just kind of, especially when it comes from a parent standpoint, you see your parents as like perfect, and you know they're supposed to like lead you in a way or correct you and stuff. Like it's crazy, but I think we view our parents as like you're not allowed to make mistakes, because it's kind of like what am I supposed to do if you make a mistake? Then what am I gonna make? You know. Yeah. So I get that, and I think coming from that type of like someone that you admire at that, and then anything that makes you kind of see them in a different light, I think it hurts, because you also have good memories with them of like, I know you could be this person again. Why would you allow yourself to turn into this person that I now see, you know? So I can see that. I can see that. And then that makes sense with your answer actually now. What
Okay.
you said.
I was
So.
like, man, I hope it makes sense. Like, I hope it makes sense.
No, it does.
And
It does.
yeah, I think with that, I also just try to just show grace. You know, when they were growing up, I just try to remind myself they didn't have the resources that we have today.
Yeah.
You know, they didn't have that before. So it's like I can't get mad at them for not knowing something that they never knew about.
Yeah.
You know.
And they're the same way. Like, they're still
Yeah.
living life one day at a time, just like us.
Yeah,
I think
that's it.
when we're young, we think that they have a lot of experience, which they do, but the reality is it's the same thing. Like, it's a new day for everybody,
Yeah.
not just for us. And as kids, I think we just think like, oh no, it's our new day, but no, it's there. And there's situations that it's new for them, you know?
Yeah, for sure.
So.
No, for sure.
And I think that hurts a little bit more than any type of other type of heartbreak too, I feel like. So no,
Yeah.
that makes perfect sense.
Yeah. Oh man, no, that was a good one.
Yeah? Should we move on to the second one?
Let's do it. Let's do it.
This one is short, I believe. Oh yeah. Why do you think men cheat?
Why do I think men cheat? I think men cheat. The first thing that came to mind was effective communication, in a sense of vocalizing with your girlfriend, spouse, whoever, what you're feeling. Like being able to vocalize your feelings.
Okay.
Yo, I'm not happy in this right here, or like the way that you spoke to me, that made me feel some type of way, or hey babe, or whatever. Trying to get my thoughts together, because boy, it's like all over the place right now. Yeah, being able to vocalize, like I said, what they're lacking.
Okay.
And it comes to this thing like, you know, men, like we don't talk, we don't expose our feelings and everything like that. So, I mean, I feel like that's why men cheat, honestly, just because they don't know how to just communicate what they're feeling.
Yeah. I think I was thinking about it and I was like, I wonder if we'll have the same response. I often think that it's because of like insecurity, but not in the sense of like, I feel like insecurity can have different meanings, right? I feel like you often think of just insecurity within yourself, like whether you don't think you're maybe good looking or you have some flaws, which everybody does. But I think that within like sometimes men get to a point where they get insecure where, you know, have you heard like the whole, like the fear of success, let's say, right? You always hear the fear of failure, but then you hear like the fear of success when you find, when you're almost at the finish line and you get scared because you don't know what's gonna bring, right?
Right.
And then sometimes it's like different things, but I personally think that, let's say they have the perfect girlfriend, the perfect wife, or whatever the case may be, and everybody knows, they're like, oh, you know, so happy for them, so happy for them. And I think maybe something within their past that was not fixed brings that insecurity upon, like, okay, now I have the perfect person. What am I supposed to do now? And it's also like seeking that validation elsewhere of like wanting to get like reassurance, but not from that person, but from another person, you know?
Yeah.
And so I think that, because then I think it's so funny with that joke of like, that men don't cheat emotionally. Like, they're like, but like, have you heard the thing where they say like, if a woman goes on a date, it's like, why would you go on a date? But then the guy slept with the whole girl and they're like, I didn't even have feelings for her. You know what I mean? Like, what? So I think it comes from like, that's where, like, even though it's a hee-ha time, like, I think that the reason why they said like a guy in that picture is because of the like insecurity part of it, that they might not cheat emotionally, but it's that you were seeking for something to kind of, what is it called, like reassure you that you still got it, or like you're still that man, or whatever the case may be.
And then I'm gonna add on to that too, just with being like truly knowing what you have. You know what I'm saying? Be content with what you have, because what you have is a good thing.
Yeah.
You know, like with success, we're always striving for something better. Look, the grass ain't always greener on the other side.
Mm-hmm.
And then also, I would probably say a lack of self-control.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like a lack of self-control.
And I think that also comes from like lust versus like love point of view too. Like I feel like it's easy to be lustful nowadays,
Yeah.
rather than know where it's coming from. I think a lot of people normalize it as far as for like how, and that's not only like for men. When I say that, I think it's for both like men and women. But I think understanding like your boundaries and your, when you're in a relationship, a marriage or whatever, knowing that like certain things are just not okay. If that makes sense.
No, facts. I mean, it ain't.
And I think a lot of
not.
people are starting to normalize that now, like being okay with just calling, like, how was it? Let me backtrack. But I seen this thing where it's like when you're with your partner and then the guy will say something about like a whole other girl, but like in a disrespectful way, like, dang, she got a big O, you know. And then the girl will be like, yeah, she does, you know, whatever. Like, you know. But I think they have normalized that too, of saying like that it should be okay. But then it kind of goes back to the conversation we had before. Like, then you think, then the girl gets upset for other things, but you have allowed it. So it kind of goes back to like the whole, what you want and what you're seeking within the person that you're with, I guess.
Yeah, having those boundaries.
Yeah.
Like, really having boundaries.
Yeah.
And I think those, like, that should be set at the very beginning.
Yeah.
What it is, what it ain't. You know what I'm saying?
Luna wants to be in the podcast
She
so
wants to be in
bad.
the podcast. She wants to be in the podcast.
That's what you hear back there, y'all. Do you think it's like do you think you should hold, well, I ask it this way. Do you think it's other friends' responsibility to hold their friends accountable for their actions?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah, 100%. 100%.
Yeah.
100%. I feel like this podcast, it might be titled Community Center. But yes, not for sure, because I believe like our friends, they see our blind spots that we probably don't see.
Yeah.
Hold me to, if I told you, like, if we have this standard, hold me to it.
Yeah.
The same way I'm gonna hold you to it, hold me to that. If I get caught slipping, hey, pull me back, hey, get me back in line.
I agree.
Get me back in line, you know what I'm saying? I believe definitely friends should hold each other like accountable.
Yeah. And I think I was having this conversation with Kenny, and I was telling him how, for example, like, since I just asked the cheating question, I told him that sometimes as friends we condone it more than we dismiss it. And I was telling him that while it's not, again, anybody can do whatever they want with their lives, like, they're gonna do it regardless you tell them or not. I do think that as a friend, it is kind of like if you call yourself a friend, then it is your responsibility to kind of be like, I don't think you should be doing that, especially not. And I think like with the whole like cover up and do this, like, I get it, it's a friendship, so you don't want to throw anybody under the bus, but at the end of the day, it's also acknowledging the fact that like, well, what you're doing is not right, and you're hurting somebody else in the process, so you're making it even like worse. You know what I mean? But that comes with a lot of things. I think that if someone tells you, also kind of how you said, if someone tells you that, this is what I want to accomplish, if you see them doing things that are not taking them to that direction, then it's probably like, it's good to be like, yeah, I don't care if you get mad at me, but you say you were going to do this by this point, and it's March 7th. And,
look,
you know?
And I'm doing this because I love you.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, you got to know, hopefully that person will understand the heart that I have and like the intentions I have behind my words.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I'm sharing this because I care for you and I love you so much.
Yeah.
Like, I love you so much and care so much. It might hurt your feelings, but look.
And it's like, I'm not coming from a harmful place.
Yeah, not at all, not at all. So like, I want to bring the question back to you.
Oh,
like,
Lord.
why do women cheat?
We don't cheat. We're angels. Why do women cheat? I think, you know what? I think you answered part of it kind of how I would think sometimes you have women that I feel. This is what I feel. I don't know. I am a person that I'm very like blunt, I would say. So I say a lot of the things of like, if I see something that I don't like, I'll just say it like, oh, I don't like that. So getting to that position, I feel like it's kind of hard because I've always been the type of person that like I don't understand why people just cheat, because it's like, why do you cheat? Just get out of the relationship, you know? So my response that I assume is because I feel like they get tired of having to repeat the same things over and over. And also, honestly, I think most of the time when I see or hear of women cheating, I think it's because it's a get back. Like,
It's like a revenge type
yeah,
thing.
because you know what I've seen? Like, this is why I say sometimes some people think men are scary, but I think women are very scary. Like, I think they can use their intelligence like in a very scary thing. Like, I feel like the difference between men and women is that I feel like women plot. Okay? Like, I think that are really good planners in the sense of like, okay, let's just wait, just wait. And I think it could be very minimal, right? Like, you could do something very minimal, but it's just the repeatedness of it, right? And I think it's like they get tired of saying that to their partner or whatever the case may be, that they see it somewhere else maybe, and then it could be like either a get back, or it could just necessarily be like yeah, I'm just fed up with the relationship. But see, it's just hard.
But it's like if you get to that point, then just leave. Like, just let it go.
Exactly. But you know, I was thinking about this the other day. So I think it kind of goes back to what you're saying. Okay, let me take my response back. Hold on. Let's start over. So let's run it again back. Because I think, for example, communication, right? And I'm gonna say this response very similar to yours, but I'm gonna add certain things.
No, go for it.
Communication is big, and a lot of people from both parts, we always blame sometimes men that they don't communicate well, but I've met a lot of women that also don't communicate, period, right? I talk a lot, so I talk a lot. But I think that sometimes women have like the whole like silent treatment, right? They don't talk to people, right? However, I fear that women, both parties, but since we're talking about the women part side of things, whenever it comes to that you have an issue within your relationship, the key word is your relationship. So I think you talk to your partner about it. Sometimes we don't talk to our partner about it, and then we're having a bad day, whatever, we're still lingering on the same topic, and then you reach out, you see someone at work or you meet someone, right? And you start talking about it, and you start saying things, right? You start telling too much about your relationship. And if that man has any type of interest in you, he's gonna feed into that, right? So it's gonna be like, yeah, I would never do that to my girlfriend. Yeah. Like the little side eye, I would never not talk to her. Yeah. Like, you know, did he really do that? I would never do that. And so it's that like sweet talk that at the moment, because you're unemotionally, like, what is it called? Like, you're still thinking about the whole situation that you had with your partner, that I feel like it's easy to start seeing, like, grasping, like, maybe feelings for the other person, because you start, like, getting emotionally attached to the other person, because it's like, well, he said that he would never do that, so why would he do that? Why do I have a stranger treating me better than my own person or whatever? That they become too emotionally attached to them. Yeah. Whether that person probably doesn't even want anything with them, or they do, it's just leading them on, or whatever the case may be. I think emotional attachment, like, but the number one would be communication. I think they don't communicate enough with their partner and throw the problems of their relationship to another person that can then manipulate things. Does that make sense?
Yeah. You got my mind going now.
But you know what? I think, why do you guys think men cheat, and why do you think women cheat? Yeah. Because I don't know. If you cheated, why did you cheat? If
it's something that you didn't want at first, like, why did you, like, go through with it completely if you knew from the jump?
Exactly, but I do think that it has to, like, I don't know, I could be wrong, but I feel like it has to stem from some type of, not like necessarily trauma, but like, I don't want to call it just trauma, but something within, like, your life that like maybe you haven't surpassed, that you're seeking it elsewhere for validation. You know what I mean? So it could be that. I don't know.
Or it could be, you know, kind of just time, like adding on to what you were saying, it might be a hole or it might be a wound there.
Yeah.
That they might not want to face. They
You're
might
gonna
not
heal
want to
it,
deal
yeah.
with it. So you're gonna try to find a healing in somebody else.
Exactly.
Which they're not even gonna have the strength or the willpower to even try to bandage that wound from the jump.
I agree.
And I would say, like, also with communication, just bringing it back to like staying curious of that person. You know what I'm saying? Because we should be like constantly evolving.
Yeah.
You know, how you were 4-5 years ago.
Should not
if
be.
you the same person you are today.
That's a problem.
Yeah, we got some stuff to work on.
Yeah.
But, you know, just staying curious.
Yeah.
I feel like like today, like in today's time, we lack curiosity.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We lack the wonder of other people. Okay, why do you respond the way you respond?
Yeah.
Why do you communicate the way that you communicate?
Yeah.
What's your heart like? Not in the sense of like where's your heart at? Let me say that. Like, you know, where's your heart at today? Like, we lack curiosity. Yeah. Why do we lack curiosity? Because we in this fast pace. Everything's on go. Our attention span is like so short right now.
I know.
Like, bro, it's so short.
I know. So
it's like we really don't even give people like.
We get mad when there's ads on YouTube. They're like 10 seconds. You get mad.
especially when it's a good video. You be into it.
But you know what? I agree. But also, it comes from our attention span. Because when we were growing up, TV, they had commercials longer than 10 seconds, Jalen.
Listen.
Longer than 10 seconds. So it's kind of like we were waiting. Like, we didn't even pay attention. It's like, skip ad. Skip. But it's kind of like, it does bring kind of concerns to me because I'm like, oh my gosh, like, people are paying extra for Netflix not to have an ad. You know, do you pay extra for Netflix?
I don't.
Oh, okay. I was getting a little worried there.
Hey, look, we was about to flip this podcast too.
No, but yeah, so like, it's the fact that people can make money off of that. That shows exactly that we are short spanned. Because if you're telling me that you can pay $6.99 to have Netflix just have ads, but you can pay $24.99 for them to take the ads away, and you're gonna pay, someone do the math, but that much monthly just because you don't want any ads, that I think that it just explains the whole thing of how short spanned we are. And that's with a lot of things. I feel like now everybody's adding, like, YouTube has ads. I mean, TikTok, I think they started adding, like, little ads.
TikTok's starting to have ads now, too.
Yep.
Like,
and then, well, now the shows, like Hulu and all of that, have ads. But it's crazy that we grew up in a time where commercials was so normal, and now it bothers us to just... Because we're so quick to wanting to get back to the main show or whatever the question may... I mean, the thing may be, but...
Bruh,
that's crazy.
Man, this low-key, this got my mind going right now. This got my mind going. Come like, man, are we, like, really operating out of the pace that we're supposed to be on? Or are we trying to keep up with the next person that's on a different pace than us, but we're just trying to just stay in the loop? We're trying to keep up.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like, man, are we, like, really running our own race? Like, truly.
Yeah. Moment of silence to think of that.
Let us know what y'all think.
No, are you big on social media? Like, do you, or is it just because you like the photography side?
Yeah, I like the photography.
Okay.
Yeah, the creativity of social media, but other than that, not really.
Not on it like that?
Yeah.
I think that, I don't know why, I just remember this, before I come back to this, even TikTok has a little 2-speed on there where you can just speed up the video.
Hey, yo, bro, I did that on accident. I was like, wait a minute.
What is this?
I'm like, bro, wait a minute.
I'm not gonna lie though, I do that. Like when people start, and then I feel bad. like if they're talking, and I'm like, what are they saying? And then I kind of slow it back down because I'm like, well, you know what, let me listen, because then I feel like my mind is also running onto X, whatever. But I was bringing up the social media thing because I was gonna ask you if you think that, like, do you wake up and get on your phone?
I do sometimes.
You do sometimes?
I do sometimes.
You know what I listened actually today, I heard that if you do that, then you're idolizing your phone. And I want to ask, do you think that's true?
Yeah.
Same. It kind of, I was like,
yeah.
And it's funny because I saw it as soon as I woke up from grabbing my phone, you know, but it was like, one of the things was like, if you wake up and you grab, the first thing you grab is your phone, then your phone is your idol. And it kind of changed a little bit of my perspective on that.
And it's a work in progress too. It's a work in progress with that. I would definitely say, like, I'm a work in progress with that as well. Like I say, I don't do it like all the time, but I do. It happens sometimes for sure. Or I'll just look up, see what time it is. Okay, got any messages? All right, cool, leave it at that.
Yeah.
But no, that is true. So it's like, dang, we even start our days off like
screen time. Yeah.
What's up? What's going on?
Yeah.
What's this? What's that?
And I think I kind of want to get to a point where I don't really, like, I know, like, checking the time I feel like should be fine, but also, like, I could buy a clock, but we'll get to that point. Right now, a phone's fine. Like, I think clicking it, and then, I'm so sorry, you guys, my mic keeps just scrolling down. It's gonna make its way down. I feel like it's just a little bit tight, but I was saying that I think I want to create kind of like a schedule where it's not thank you, that I want to have more like have sense of timing, so I know that it's, let's say, 8 o'clock or whatever, but kind of just start my day without my phone until I get to a certain time. So like maybe 11 o'clock or something, that I'm like, okay. Because I feel like if they waited, especially like sometimes I think about it, if that person texted you, let's say at 8 p.m. you're already in bed. If they waited all those 8 hours, they can wait a couple more hours for you to respond, you know? Right. But we are so quick to just, no, they need my response, or like...
Man, I'm like the worst when it comes to texting.
Really?
I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm not the best. I'll pick up your phone call. Anytime. Like, I'll pick up the phone call. Texting? Boy, I'm not the best.
Really?
I'm not the best with texting. But then it just goes to, like, being so caught up in the day. You know what I'm saying? Like, bro, I don't have, like, enough time
to text,
But it's like, Jay, do you have, like...
There's something else you could be doing. Yeah.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah. I don't know. This is, I don't know. I got my mind just... I'm over here just reevaluating myself. Like, honestly. Yeah.
That kind of makes sense as to why you guys are friends, honestly. Like, with the whole texting and their phone thing.
Oh, word.
I feel like both of you guys... Well, now you say that he's not really into his phone like that either. So.
Yeah, like, I'll just call.
Friendship embarked.
At this point, like, I'll just call. I'll just call. But, yeah, just, when it come down to just, like, the time... Yeah. These phones, man. These phones. That's why I was like, going back to that holiday.
Yeah,
put the phone in a box. Yeah.
It would be kind of, I was thinking about it, can kind of be like the purge, but without the killing. You know, you're just at home with everything shuts down.
You know.
And you don't come out.
Yeah.
It's like closed
Stock
down.
up, like, get you some food, get everything you need, have paper and a pencil.
Yeah, because you know what I was thinking? That even when we have the disasters, like when we have the snow, the hurricanes and stuff like that, people cannot stay indoors.
No, fact.
Like, you'll still see people, like, trucks getting flooded because they're still trying to make it. Like, they're still trying to make it. So it brings up, like, a good point, too, that people are just not able to really rest or stay indoors. Like, their mind goes crazy or something.
Yeah.
So, no, that's a good holiday. Make sure you, what is it called? Trademark it, so nobody's...
Yeah, fact. I feel like we all need it. Like, we all need it.
Yeah.
We all need it.
Before I close out the episode, I do want to ask you a question before kind of closing it out. Given that you said, let me really think of this question, but given that you said that you are kind of stuck between if you're doing too much or doing too little. Was that it?
Mm-hmm.
Where do you... Maybe I have two questions.
No, go for it.
First is, where do you see your journey that you want to kind of embark being at in the next year or two? And then the other question would be, what would you tell your younger self now, where you are in this spot now, and then going back to the moment when you were younger?
Okay, so the first question, stability.
Okay.
Like in the next year or two, that's my goal, just to be stable.
Okay.
Just to have that stability, in like my finances, stability, and my like physical part, like just going to the gym, just stable there mentally, being in a stable spot to where I have that awareness of being able to like pinpoint, okay, where I'm at, what I need to do, and then also just spiritually just staying just rooted. So just stability across the board. And something that I would tell my younger self, when you said that, I was like, boy. Something I would tell my younger self, you're doing a good job.
Okay.
You're doing a good job. Like,
Have you told yourself that recently?
I have.
Okay.
And I'm not gonna lie, yeah,
Yeah.
I have. I would say this, like I was at work a couple days ago, and I was going through it, like mentally at work. I didn't have the energy to like really like speak to anybody or nothing. I had to go to the bathroom and get myself together. Like, yo, Jay, you're doing a good job. Because sometimes we just need that affirmation.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like us as men, like sometimes we just need, yo, I see you, you're doing a good job. So that's what I would tell my younger self. Yo, you're doing a good job, and know that you're loved. Exactly the way that you are. You don't need to please nobody. You don't need to like, you're doing a good job.
Yeah.
Stay true to who you are and watch how everything just pans out. That's what I would tell like my younger self.
That's a good response.
For sure.
That's a good
Just
response.
doing a good job, yeah.
Is there anything that you would give to the people watching as far as advice of if they're maybe in a similar situation that you are in, or just kind of struggling with like finding whether it's themselves or their path and like what they want to do, that you would give?
My word of advice would be, it's not too late to make the right move. It's not too late to make the right move. If you're breathing, like you have like air in your lungs, like while you're watching or listening to this podcast, you have time to pivot and make the right move, and make the right decision. It's not too late. Do that. Put your faith in God.
Yeah.
Put your faith in God. Jesus said, "It is done," and that's something I've been like holding on to. Like Jesus said, it's done. So why am I over here still trying to do if it's already done?
That's good.
Look.
That's good.
So yeah, I was. It's not too late to make the right move. It's not too late. Yeah.
Like bring y'all chills. But Jalen, thank you so much for being a part of this episode. I'm gonna link his social media below, and also, like I said, he does photography. You do videography too?
Yeah, I do
okay.
videography
And he has
too.
videography too. So if you guys have any events coming up, he takes really good pictures and videos. I think I'll link a video below that he has been doing too. And then if you guys have any questions, I'll put his social media information also. Like I said, I feel like I learned a lot about you, and I just met him yesterday.
Hey, look, I feel like we've been knowing each other for some years now.
So it was good getting to know him. you guys got to know him as well as I did. And again, if you guys want to be part of any of the episodes, like I said, the link is in my bio, so you just click it. How do you feel? If there's something you could let them know, like how did being on here made you feel?
Dude, it feels, honestly, don't even feel like a podcast. Like I feel like I'm like legit chopping it up with a homie.
So okay,
Like,
so
it's
see,
like very,
it's not scary.
No, it's not scary at all. This is my first time ever like doing
Being a
something like this
podcast?
too.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's awesome. Okay.
So this right here, it's very welcoming. Like the platform that you've built here, this is like something special.
Oh,
Like
that makes
it's
me
definitely
happy.
something special. So I appreciate you for having me on here.
No, thank you. He was so quick to be like, yes. So
I was like, bro, when?
I know, literally next day, tomorrow. So he's here now. But
Yeah.
I appreciate you so much for being a part of this episode. If you guys have any questions, please message him or message me. And then again, the link is in my bio. If you guys have not subscribed yet, also make sure that you subscribe because there's a lot of new videos coming soon and exciting things coming. And if you are looking to work out, go to LeCounte Pilates. Is the first of the month. You don't have to commit to a whole membership. Pilates is like $200, y'all. So you just pay, I think it was $35, right?
Yeah, it was like $35.
Yeah, $35, and you get more than just a workout. You get great socializing like experience, and then you get a little drink at the end, like not an alcoholic drink, but you also get a good workout overall to do on a Saturday, the first of the month. So I'll link their information below here too. If you guys are looking to start their journey with working out, that's a good time. If you're looking to just start Pilates as a whole, which is hard, but it's definitely worth it. So with that being said, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys on the new episode. Bye.